Chicos, buenas tardes. Vamos a comenzar nuestra clase número 9. Let's start our class number 9. Last week, you watched the video classes corresponding to Unit 2. Unit 2, ¿quiénes son tus amigos? Who are your friends? That's the name of this unit. So you watch those video classes, and in this week, we are going to practice all that uh, knowledge that you acquire in those previous classes. So last week you watched the video classes and we are going to practice this week. Today, Tuesday, as always, we are going to practice vocabulary and grammar. And on Thursday, this same week, we are going to practice the oral expression. As always, Tuesday, vocabulary and grammar, and Thursday, oral practice. That's why I told you on Sunday, I sent you a message and I told you that be ready to practice in these Zoom classes, practice like speaking, but especially on Thursday, because Thursdays is the days to practice the oral expression. Today, as you are seeing here in the screen, vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulario y gramática. So no more introduction. Let's go straight to the class. What was the vocabulary that we studied in this unit 2? Well, los objetos en el aula. Objects in the classroom. No, I'm laughing because the objects in the classroom, if I consider that, if I assume that this is a classroom, is my bed, my closet, my bookshelf, my computer, my AC, the lights, and so this is an atypical classroom. But let's assume that we are talking about a traditional class with a blackboard, not a blackboard, with a whiteboard, chairs, tables, a teacher desk, and so on. So, los objetos en el aula. Second, los números del 30 al 99. I'm assuming that you already know how to count from 1 to 29, and now we're going to count from 30 to 99. And from 100 to 10,000 and so on, well, that will be in further classes. El cuerpo humano. Humano sounds like human and means human actually. El cuerpo means body. So, el cuerpo humano, the human body. The parts of the body like cabeza, boca, nariz, manos, etc. Y la descripción de las personas. How to describe people. We already knew, we learned in Unit 1 how to describe persons physically. Like if you are alto or bajo, if you are gordo or delgado, and so on. If tengo pelo corto o tengo pelo largo, like physical descriptions. But now in this unit, we will continue practicing that, but we will add let's call it moral description, like the description of the personality. Physical description is what I can see, how you look like. But if I do not interact with you, so I wouldn't know anything further. Like if you are smart or you are not smart, if you are empathetic, or if you are kind, if you are disgusting, or you are aggressive, you are studious, you are patient, you are impatient, you are generous, you are mean. So let's practice now this kind of words to describe somebody, but somebody's personality, not too much a physical description, which we already studied. And that's it. That's it. All the vocabulary that we studied in this Unit 5. So in this first hour, let's remember all those words. And in the second hour, we will remember, or we will brush up the grammar. So let's go to the vocabulary now before we go to grammar. Of course, I'm not going to tell you the meaning of all the words that you will see in Spanish right now because that's why you watch the video classes. But in case that you have any doubt, you can always go to the dictionary. You can use Google Translate. You can use ChatGPT or your textbook, pages 29 and 30. 29 y 30. Pages 29 and 30. Yeah, on pages 29 and 30, you will find all these words and their meaning in Spanish. So, which were the words related to the objects in the classroom? See, these are the words that you have to remember about objects in the classroom. Cartel, posta, escritorio, teacher's desk, mapa, map, piso, flower. So I will not tell you the meaning of all those words. As I just told you, you watch video class 7. There, I mentioned the meaning of all those words, and you can always go to pages 29 and 30 in your textbook and find the meaning in Spanish. So these are the words relating to objects in the classroom that you have to remember. Before I move on, if there's any specific word that you want me to pronounce, a word that you have hard times pronouncing and you want me to pronounce? Okay. So let's move to numbers from 30 to 99. And I will kind of take my time here because this is important. Numbers are important. Repaso means review. So you are seeing that red word in your screen. Repaso, that means review because we already, this is a review because we already studied these numbers in a previous class. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So these are the numbers from 0 to 15. So here, usually you have hard times pronouncing these numbers, but you shouldn't because you simply remember. Look at the button. 10, 16. Think of 10 y 6, 10 and 6. But 10 y come together and we say 10 10 10 D-I-E-C-I, 10. Now, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, 16, 17, 18, 19. So, again, this is a repaso. And finally, numbers from 20 to 29. So, we finish in 29 in the previous class when we studied these numbers. 20, 20, and then you say 20, 20, 21, 22, 23, 29, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. So we studied that already. Let's focus on numbers from 30 to 99, which is the new content in this unit 2. So to count from 30 to 99, first of all, it's very easy. The only thing that you have, well, you already know numbers from 1 to 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You are seeing that on the left. So it is nothing new to learn. In the middle, you are seeing the conjunction y, which means and. So that's not new either. Which is new is the 10th, like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. That's the only new thing that you have to learn to count from 30 to 99. 30, 30, 40, 40, 50, Let me repeat 30, 40, 50. 30, 40, 50. 30, 40, 50. Now, 60, 70. And see that the difference between 60 and 70 is only one letter. S-I-S, S-I-T. 60, 70. 60, 70. Oh my. One second. Sí, mire. The only difference between 60 and 70 in Spanish is this letter here. In 60, the letter S, and in 70, the letter T. All the other letters are the same. 60, 70. 60, 70. Let's try something. I'm going to say 60 or 70 in Spanish, and you are going to tell me in English what I am saying, if 60 or 70. 60.
60.
60.
70.
I said 60 again. 60.
60.
I'm saying 60, 60 all the time. Muy bien. 70. 70.
70.
70.
Now I'm saying 70. 70, 60.
70,
60.
60.
Muy bien. I said 70, 60. Let me say it again more slowly. 70, 60. The is 60. 60, 70. 60, 70. Next one is very easy. 80 actually sounds like 8. 8. 8, 80. 80. And finally, 90. 90. Let me count from 30 to 90. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Who can count from 30 to 90? Only the tens, like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Come on, who can do it for me?
Señor, yo.
Sí, adelante, Vanessa.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90.
Muy bien, Vanessa. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Now, what about 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39? Easy. How do you say 30? 30. 30 y 1. 30 y 2. So you say 31. We say 30 and 1. You say 32. We say 30 and 2. So we add the and. 30. So you cannot say 31. 31. No. You cannot say 31. You have to say 30 y 1. 31, 32, 33. Who can continue?
34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
Muy bien, perfecto, perfecto. Of course, when we are speaking like fast, we don't say 31. We say 30. Like 20, 21, 22. We say 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. But of course, we mean 31. However, we never pronounce it like that. 31. No. We say 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. But you don't have to say it like that. Just say 31. So take your time to pronounce the three words. Who can count from, not you, Vanessa, next person, from 40 to 49? 40. 40. Who can count from 40 to 49?
Dice,
Come on. Blair?
Sir, please pronounce what word for me.
40. 40. 40. That is 40. 40.
41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 20.
Muy bien. Perfecto, Blair. Perfecto. Actually, I expected to hear 41, 42, but you were actually pronouncing like we pronounce it in the everyday conversation. 40. Instead of 40 y 40. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 49. Now, who can count from 50 to 59? 50. 50 is 50. 50. The next person. Who can count from 50 to 59? Come on, it's not hard. You just have to remember 50.
sir, 50, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59.
Perfecto, Yulisha. 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 59. Why are you? Anyways, ¿cómo se dice? How do you say? ¿Cómo se dice 99 en español? ¿Cómo se dice 99 en español?
Not too sure, but 99.
Of course, it is. I mean, it's a pattern. It's a very easy pattern that don't have exceptions. It doesn't have any exceptions. So it is exactly as you can deduct. 99. Well, that's exactly 99. 99. Or you can say 99. That's correct. But 99 is how we actually say. Okay. Vamos a ver. Let's do some math. Miren. Más. Más. Plus. Más. Menos. Menos. Minus. Son. Equal. This is something funny because you say, for example, 1 and 1 is 2. But we say 1 and 1 are 2. So are is son. These are the only three new words that you need to know for doing basic math. Más, plus, menos, minus, son, equal. Entonces, vamos a ver. Okay. Do these three in your notebook quickly. Don't tell me. Don't tell me. Just do it. I'm assuming that you have a notebook and you are taking your notes. So 11 plus 4 equals 15. Do that. Good. Not too much time because if no matter how bad you are in math, this is very easy. 11 más 4 son. What? 11 más 4 son
15.
Sorry, the answer.
15. I'm expecting to hear the answer. 15. 15. Muy bien, 15. 8 más 2 son
6,
10. 10. Muy bien. 13 más 3 son
26.
26.
17.
16. 16. Now, this one, who can read the whole thing? Minus is menos. Menos.
Ben 20 menos 7 son
Ujú.
14.
Perfecto, Yamal. 20 menos 6 son 14. Ahora, 39 más 50. Yeah, I'm taking my calculator, of course. 39. 39 más 50. Ajá. 39. Ajá.
89.
39 más 50 son 89. 89. Now, 80 menos 1 son
79,
79. 50. You don't need a calculator for this. 50 menos 25 son
25.
25. 26 más 40.
60. 60.
60.
66.
66. 66. 66. Y finalmente, ¿cuántos son 90 menos 12?
78.
78. 90 menos 12 son 78. Ok, muy bien, muy bien. So, chicos, well, this was something that we were supposed to have learned in Unit 1, numbers from 0 to 29. Now, in Unit 2, we are learning numbers from 30 to 99. Just remember 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Then you add the conjunction y, which means and finally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like the 80s, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, and so on. So, any question about how to form numbers from 30 to 99? Okay, I'm assuming that your silence is no. El cuerpo humano, the human body. Here you have a picture, a lady in the picture, you can see the parts of the body. La cabeza. There is a next slide specifically for la cabeza. El cuello. El cuello. Ujú. Los hombros. Los hombros. Los brazos. Los brazos. Brazos. Los antebrazos. Antebrazos. La mano. Bueno, la mano, las manos. La mano, las manos. Los dedos. Los dedos. And see that in Spanish we don't have a word for fingers and another word for toes. Either finger or toes in Spanish are dedos. So you say, we have 10 fingers and 10 toes. But in Spanish, we say, tengo, I have, tengo 20 dedos. I have 20 dedos. Because there's only one word for fingers and toes. So you have 20, 10 in your hands and 10 in your feet. In total, you have 20 dedos. We don't have one word for fingers and a next word for toes. So you have 10 and 10, and we have 20 dedos. La espalda. Espalda. These classes are very, it's very easy to see it face to face. So, la espalda. El estómago. Or la barriga. Estómago means stomach. Even it's inside, we refer to the belly as estómago, just like in English. And you can also say la barriga, which means the belly or the tummy. Las piernas, which I will not show you, means the legs. And finally, los pies, feet. Pie, P-I-E, pie, one foot. Pies, feet. So, foot, feet is pie, pies. Pie, pies. Any question about how to pronounce any of these words? So, some of the words are in plural, just because we have to. For example, you can see there, los antebrazos. Why? Because I have two, one and one, antebrazos. But if I'm going to talk about only one, el antebrazo. El antebrazo. That's why you are seeing there cuello, because everybody has one neck, cuello. So cuellos, nobody has two. Well, no questions. Let me move to la cabeza. El pelo. So it was so easy years ago. I touch here, but now every year I have to incline more and more my head for you to see some hair here. So, el pelo. El pelo. Los ojos. Ojo. Ojo. Ojos. El ojo. El ojo. Los ojos. Yeah, I was blind for seconds. La nariz. So you know that kids usually do this because it's kind of funny. So, nariz. Nariz. La boca. La boca. Not the lips, the mouth. La boca. Lips is labios. It's not a word that you have to learn. Labios. Dientes. Dientes. Well, encía, the gum. Encía. Lengua. Lengua. These words that you are not seeing there are words that you don't really need to learn in this course. It's optional if you want. Las orejas. Orejas. Y la cara. Face. Cara. Cara. Cara means face in Portuguese too. And they use that word like when you say, hey, buddy, they say, um, hey, cara. So, cara is a way to call a friend. So, well, any question about the parts of the cabeza, head?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. La descripción de las personas. You should remember how to describe somebody physically uh, or how to describe yourself. You simply say soy, S-O-Y, I am, soy alto, I am tall. But if I am a girl, how I can say I am tall? Soy
Alta.
alta. Muy bien. Alto for boys, alta for girls. So if I am short, soy bajo, bajo, bajo for boys. And how a girl would say, I am short. Soy
Baja.
baja. Muy bien, muy bien. Gordo, fat. A fat girl would be gordo,
Gorda.
gorda. Muy bien. Gordo, gorda. Delgado, thin. And for female,
Delgado.
Delgado.
perfecto. Delgado, delgada. Guapo, handsome. And a pretty girl, what word you would use?
Bonita.
Yeah, you can say guapa, but usually we say bonita, bonita. Chica, bonita. Chico, guapo, handsome boy. Chica, bonita, pretty girl. Now, if you have your hair, what means, ¿cómo se dice en inglés? Tengo pelo largo. What that means? Tengo pelo largo.
I have long hair.
I have long hair. Muy bien. Now, tengo pelo corto. Is what?
I have short hair.
Muy bien. Ojos. Tengo ojos negros. Is what?
I have black eyes.
Black eyes.
I have black eyes. So, perfecto. You use the verb to be, soy, I am, for tall, short, fat, young, rich, black, blonde, ugly, handsome, whatever. But you use to have, in this case, tengo, I have, for mustache, beard, your hair, your eyes, and so. So you learned that already. This is just a revision. Now, these new words to describe your personality. Soy again. Well, why I'm putting here soy, eres, es. What that means? Soy means I am. Eres means you are. Es means he or she is. Soy alto means I am tall. But if I want to say my brother, mi hermano, a word that you will learn in the next unit, members of the family. So, my brother is tall, mi hermano es alto. I want to say my sister is tall. Complete the phrase for me, please, the sentence. Mi hermana es
Alta.
alta. That's why I put the three words, I am, you are, he is, in case that you want to describe yourself, you want to describe the person you are talking to, or you want to describe somebody else. But basically, we're using now soy. We will have time for the other forms of the verb to be. Soy, I am. What do you think that agresivo means? Agresivo.
Aggressive?
It sounds just like in English, aggressive. So agresivo, what about for an aggressive girl?
Agresiva.
Agresivo.
Agresiva. Agresivo, agresiva. Antipático. Disgusting. Somebody who is not nice. It's the opposite of nice. Antipático. What about a girl who is not nice?
Antipática.
Antipática. So you are having an argument with your friend, let's say your female friend, and you want to tell her you are disgusting. How you will tell her? Well, you have right here how you say you are. Eres. How
Tú
will you say
eres antipática.
eres antipática? Muy bien. And how you will tell a boy you are disgusting? A boy.
Tú eres antipático.
Tú eres antipático. Antipática, antipático. Well, atlético, just like in English, or atlética. Atlético, atlética. Callado. What is callado? A person who usually don't speak or speak very little. Quiet. Callado is quiet. Actually, you say this is crazy because he's a teacher. How he? But in when I am gathering in a meeting with people that I don't really know well, or when there is a crowd that even I know well, it's like more than 5 people, I don't speak. So yo soy callado. Yo soy callado. I am a quiet person. I am a very quiet person. Not in my house, not with my close friends, but with people that I don't really know too much. I am a very callado person. I am a quiet person, callado. Cómico. Cómico. Funny. Or cómica. Cómico, cómica. Oh, see these words. Egoísta. One second. Good. So what word? Oh, egoísta. What is egoísta? Anybody remember the meaning of egoísta?
Egotistic.
Yeah, or using a simple word, selfish. A selfish person. So, egoísta. Entusiasta. Entusiasta is a person, well, if the life in a party. So it's a person who is always who always making jokes and keeps a gathering or a meeting lively. So enthusiastic, entusiasta. Estudios, that's something that really defines me. So I think well, my entire life I've been studying. Studios, estudioso, estudiosa. So back in the days, I was all the time with a book in a bus, in a car, walking, reading, yeah, like a madman. Well, right now I do it in my phone using my Kindle. But I'm reading. I'm reading 24/7. Yeah, I always like to learn new things. Generoso. The word speaks by itself. What is generoso? Generoso.
General.
Generous. Generoso or generosa. Well, this is something bad that I wouldn't really, I mean, I really have to work on that because yo soy muy impulsivo and I regret after, but like in a second, it's like some wire in my head get burned and I speak out. 5 seconds after, I calm myself and I really regret. So because that is something that that is something that I mean that is not the best feature in your personality, but unfortunately, it is what it is. Impulsivo, impulsiva. Inteligente, intelligent, smart, clever, inteligente. You use the word smart a lot. You say somebody is very smart. You use the word intelligent also, and you use clever. But in general, in Spanish, the word that we use the most for all that is inteligente. We use inteligente a lot. Just like you use smart a lot, we use inteligente a lot. We have a word for smart, listo, but we don't really use it as much as you use it. And so whenever you say that somebody is very smart, no, todavía tiene café. Ok, gracias. So whenever you say that somebody is smart, we say that somebody is intelligent. For example, just a person who is below me, random person, Vanessa. Vanessa es inteligente. Serena es inteligente. Suraj es inteligente. Yamal es inteligente. Esther es inteligente. Narisa es inteligente. Aviana es inteligente. So actually, you can see that word doesn't end in O. That means that you can use it for both male and female. Mentiroso. The first one in the third column. Liar. Liar. Mentiroso. Or mentirosa. When you want to, I mean, it's not nice to call somebody liar, but when you want to say that, I don't know, Jose, random name. Jose is a liar. Jose es mentiroso. Jose es mentiroso. If I want to say that María is a liar, María es mentirosa. Mentiroso, mentirosa. Nervous. I am a very nervous person. So I am always edgy. I'm always nervous when I have to face any new situation. Believe it or not, even after being teaching for almost 30 years, at the beginning of every class, I am very nervioso. So that's part of my personality. Nervioso, nerviosa. Perezoso, lazy. Perezoso o perezosa. Pesimista, the word speaks by itself. And see that pesimista ends in A, but we use it for both male and female, just like that, ending in A. Juan es pesimista. María es pesimista. So that adjective is used just like that for male and female. Serio. Sometimes I am serio. Sometimes I am not serio at all. Anyhow, serious, serio. Simpático is a nice person. When somebody is nice, it's just the opposite of antipático. Antipático is disgusting. Simpático is nice, a nice person. When, for example, I want to say, Vanessa es simpática. Sabita es simpática. Blair es simpática. Stefan es simpático. Okay? So, nice people. Sincero. Sincere. An authentic, genuine person. Sincero. A person who usually don't lie. Sincero o sincera. Tacaño. Mean. A mean person. Tacaño. Somebody who doesn't want to spend his or her money. Tacaño or tacaña. Well, tímido. It sounds like the English timid, but it's actually shy. Tímido or tímida. Yo soy muy tímido. Yo soy, believe it or not, yo soy muy tímido. So I have hard times interacting with people. Soy tímido. Tonto, silly, o tonta. Tonto o tonta. Y finalmente, trabajador, ending in R, o you are the E for the female. Trabajadora, hardworking. Hardworking. Trabajador, trabajadora. Okay. If I had to describe myself using, let's say, 3 adjectives, I would like that you describe yourself too, just now. I would say, let me describe my personality. Soy agresivo, antipático, atlético, callado, quiet, conservador, considerado, egoísta, entusiasta, estudioso, filosófico, generoso. I consider myself generous. Generoso, idealista, impulsivo, impulsive. Inteligente. I consider myself a smart person, but I will not. It's not nice to. Mentiroso, nervioso. Optimista, perezoso, pesimista, práctico, serio. Sometimes I am serio, serious. I am very hardworking. Y trabajador. I mean, I do not expect you to use so many adjectives to describe yourself, but I would like that like 2, 3, 4 of you describe yourself. You can use only 3 adjectives. Soy callado, estudioso, generoso, impulsivo, nervioso, serio y trabajador. So who want to describe himself or herself? Just using 3 adjectives. Don't have to use too many.
Señor,
Vanessa.
yo
Ajá, Vanessa, ¿cómo eres?
soy simpática, generosa, sincera y inteligente.
Okay. Guys, this is a rule that you haven't studied, but when the last word in an enumeration, in a series, like this, and that, and the last word start with I, you have to change the Y, like E, to E. So, soy simpática, generosa, sincera, e inteligente. So we don't say e inteligente because it's 2 e sounds, one next to the other. Like you don't say a apple, you say an apple. So same thing in Spanish. When the last word in a series starts with I, we don't use the letter Y. We use the letter E. And we read it E. Soy simpática, generosa, sincera e inteligente. So that's not important now. We will study that in further class, but just mentioning. Just because you use inteligente at the end. If you had used inteligente at the beginning, we shouldn't have to use A. Muy bien. Otra persona. Otra persona. ¿Cómo es tu personalidad? How is your personality? Come on, the words are there. Ya, Yulisha.
Soy tímida,
Oh. But you're participating though.
inteligente
Inteligente. Just one more. Y
y is that how you pronounce nervous in Spanish?
nerviosa. Nerviosa.
Nervosa.
Oh, you are my sister. Or my daughter. You're just like me. I consider myself smart. I am very shy and I am very nervous. So, soy tímida, inteligente y nerviosa. Question. If I am going to say the same about me, that I am shy, smart, and nervous, what should I change in that sentence? And it's only 2 letters.
Sorry, I changed the A, the last letter, for your guy.
In
It will end with
which words?
it will be timado. It will end with the O.
O tímido. Which one
Correct.
else?
And
That's it?
nervioso.
Nervioso.
It should be.
Exactly, perfect. And I don't change anything in inteligente because, as I told you, inteligente is used for both male and female. So I would say, soy tímido, inteligente y nervioso. One more person. ¿Cómo es tu personalidad? How is your personality?
Soy callada, generoso y nervioso.
Soy callada, generosa y nerviosa. Muy bien. One last person. ¿Cómo es tu personalidad? Come on, let me hear you. How is your personality? You have all the words in the screen.
Sure. Soy inteligente, tímida y sincera.
Muy bien, Eviana. Soy inteligente, tímida y sincera. Perfecto. So, let's suppose that it's a boy who is going to say that. What would change in that sentence if a male person said that he is smart, shy, and sincere?
He's supposed to say, soy inteligente, temido y sincero.
Oh, muy bien. So you don't change here, you don't change anything in inteligente, you just change tímida to tímido and sincera to sincero. So, soy inteligente, tímido y sincero. Muy bien, muy bien. Oh my God. Okay. Smart, shy, and honest. Clip drawings. So, chicos, any questions about these new words to describe your, like, what you cannot see, your personality? You want me to tell you how to pronounce any specific word? See that generous is generoso. Generoso. So the G in generoso is pronounced like the J in Spanish. Both are pronounced like the English H. So GE is G. G. Generoso. Nervous. Nervioso. Nervioso. Honest. Sincero. Sincero. Okay. So, that was all the vocabulary that we studied in Unit 2. We studied the parts of the objects in the classroom. We studied the parts of the body. We studied numbers from 30 to 99. And we studied how to describe people. But how to describe people, people's personality. Okay. Let's see the grammar that we studied in this unit 2. Looks like a lot, but everything is very easy. So the difference between tú and usted, how to say there is or there are, how to make negative sentence, like I am tall, how you will say I am not tall. So somebody tell you, eres mentiroso, you are a liar, how you will reply and say, I am not a liar. Things like that. How to make words plural. So you have one boy that is chico. How you would say boys? You have one cup, taza. How would you say cups? That is a plural. La concordancia entre los sustantivos y los adjetivos. Oh my God, that sounds like the end of the word. Agreement between nouns and adjectives. This is something that we have been used since class 1. If I am going to say tall boy, I say chico. This is a question. Chico alto o chico alta? Which one of the two? Alto or alta for chico, boy?
Chico Alto.
Chico alto. Nobody would say chico alta. If you are a girl and you are talking about yourself, you will never say soy alto, impulsivo y trabajador. So you will never say that because you know that for masculine nouns, you have to use masculine adjective. And for feminine nouns, you have to use feminine adjective. But we will see that just now. It's far easier than when you explain. When you see it, it's very easy. And finally, the position of the adjective. Because you've been realizing since day one that, for example, in English you say pretty girl, but we say chica bonita. Can somebody translate me word for word chica bonita? Not how you say it in English, translating each one of the words in that same order. Chica bonita. How you can translate that in English? Word for word.
Girl pretty. Girl pretty.
Girl pretty. So you see, you say pretty girl, but you say girl pretty. We say chico alto. How would you translate chico alto word for word? Chico,
Boy tall.
boy tall, which you don't say in English. You say tall boy. So the position of the adjective in Spanish is like the other way around. You use the adjective first, we put the adjective after. So let's see all that. Los usos de tú y usted. Guys, in Spain, there are 4 words for the word you. Yes. If they are saying you to only one person, it depends. If they are telling you to you, my friend, that would be tú. But if they say tú, I mean, if they say you to a boss, an older person, a grandparent, somebody they don't know, they wouldn't use tú. They would use usted. So there are 2 ways to refer to somebody in Spanish, like using you, tú, or usted. Tú, informal, usted, formal. Same thing in plural. They are talking to a group of friends and they are gonna tell them, hey, you guys, that you guys is vosotros. Vosotros means you guys when you are talking to a group of friends, people, for example, when I refer to my students, persons younger than you, and so on. But if you are going to call a group of old people, like 3, 4 heads of departments that are standing over there, 3, 4, 5 people that you don't know, and you are gonna tell them, like, you guys, please come in or come on, that you guys would be ustedes. So that's in Spain. But let's forget Spain and let's come back to Latin America. In Latin America or Spanish America, everybody says Latin America, even it's not the same. Latin America includes Brazil, which doesn't speak Spanish. Latin America includes Haiti, which speak French. So Latin America is the countries in America that speak one language that comes from Latin, which are Spanish, Portuguese, and French. If you are actually going to speak about the countries in the Americas that speak Spanish, we should say Spanish America. But everybody says Latin America, period. So in Latin America, it's easier because we have only 3 ways to say you. If I'm talking to one person, and that one person is my friend, somebody younger than me, my kid, my student, somebody I know very well, my relative, and so on, I would use tú. Tú. So, for example, if I want to call somebody in my classroom, I am the lecturer, you are my students, and I want that Yulisha participates, and everybody have raised the hand, and I want to point her, I say, tú. Yulisha, tú. So I wouldn't use usted. However, if you are pointing me and you mean you, sir, what would you say? And it's definitely not tú. How you would refer to me? How would you address me? The word is right there on the screen.
Usted.
Usted. Usted, señor. You, sir. Usted, señor. You will never say tú, señor. Never. Never in your life. Never, never, never. Refer a teacher, a professor, a doctor, a lawyer, a boss, somebody older than you, somebody you don't know. Never refer to them using tú. Refer to them using usted. This is a little bit confusing sometimes because, for example, in Colombia, everybody calls everybody usted. Like husband and wife in bed, they are doing things, they call each other usted. That's very funny for us because, I mean, that's something that only them use it like that. They call the kids usted. So it's funny when you are, because kids refer to other like tú, each other like tú. But in Colombian, if you see a Colombian series, it's a group of kids, they address each other as usted. That sounds really, really funny. Something really funny too in Spain, students refer to teachers, address teachers using tú. I don't know why. So I was watching a series the other day, and I was like, because that's something that I do not consider. I grew up hearing usted when you have to refer a teacher, somebody that you respect, somebody older than you, so never to. But in Spain, these kids, The Mess You Left Behind, it's a series that is on Netflix. I watch it in Spanish, of course, so you can watch it in Spanish with English subtitles if you want. So I mean, it's a little bit depressing. I read the book, and right away I wanted to see the series because I really like the book, and thank God the series was on Netflix. The Mess You Left Behind. El desorden que dejas is the original title. So, well, and there I saw how students refer teachers using tú. Well, how we say you all in Spanish to anybody, John, all, somebody you respect, somebody you don't respect, somebody who is your boss, somebody who is your kid, your students, whatever, just usted. Not like in Spain that they have two words, vosotros and ustedes. No, no, no. In Latin America, we are simple. You all or you guys is ustedes. Period. A few of you studied Spanish before, and I'm sure that because I know that is something that I don't know why they do in Guyana in secondary school, they teach vosotros. I don't teach it. I never teach it. I mean, if one day I will be teaching Spanish in Europe, I will teach it because most likely they will interact with persons from Spain. But if I am here in Latin America, what's the point to teach vosotros if you will never, like, never hear it? So I don't teach vosotros. Tú, usted, and ustedes. Question. When you talk to these people, would you use tú or usted? Un amigo en la universidad. A friend at the university. ¿Tú or usted?
Tú.
Tú. El profesor, and not any random professor, el profesor de matemáticas.
Usted.
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 Una niña, una niña de 10 años.
Usted.
A 10 years old girl.
Tú.
Tú. Un amigo de su papá. A friend of your dad.
Sir, pause.
Huh?
Question.
Yeah.
Why are you using two? They never turn and say you know the 10-year-old girl. They just said the 10-year-old girl.
Sorry, I don't understand the question.
You say for two is for familiarity or informal. Usted. Good. Usted is for formal. Good.
Ajá.
The 10-year-old girl. Una niña de 10 años. So I use usted. I did the activity. So I use usted because I don't know her. It's not say I know the 10-year-old girl.
Yeah.
That's the reason I want to know why you're saying two.
I understand. I totally get your point. But even if you don't know a kid, you never use usted to address a kid. That sounds funny, weird. For kids, even you see a kid for the first time in your life, you address that kid using tú. So we never use usted for kids.
But sir, senor, may I add to that? You use to because the sentence is a singular a singular due to that is Nina. We talk about one person here. So usted now, would it be more than one person? I just saying.
No, actually, either tú and usted. Look, take a look at the slide. Either tú or usted are used in singular. Tú informal, usted formal. For plural, like you all, you guys, you should say ustedes, ustedes. That is a plural. Okay, Jamal?
Sí.
Ok. Bueno, una señora de 65 años, a 65 years old lady.
Usted.
Usted. And look, just like when we're talking about the 10 years old girl, you don't know the 10 years old girl, you used to. You know the 10 years old girl, you still used to. But for the 65 years old lady, if you don't know her, definitely used to. But even if you know her, it's not respectful address her using to, even if you know her. Actually, some kids refer their parents using usted. I mean, not really in the modern times, but like a few years ago, it was. I mean, you still hear it, but not too much like before. I remember when I was a kid, I have to use usted to address my parents, but not anymore. Kids don't do it anymore. A receptionist, which is somebody you don't know, even if it's younger than you. It will never be a kid. It's gonna be an adult, and you don't know how. So, tú or usted?
Usted.
Su doctor, usted, su doctor, your doctor.
Usted.
Usted.
Anybody remember? Well, we haven't studied that word, but from previous studies, and so, what is hermano?
Brother.
Brother. So your brother.
Brother.
How you would address your brother? Tú or usted?
Two.
Two.
Definitely tú. Definitely tú. So, su hermano o su hermana, your brother, your sister. Tú. So, guys, yeah, there are not like fixed rules for tú and usted, but something I can tell you. First, if you don't know the person, if you don't know the person and the person is older than you, use usted. You know or you don't know the person, but the person is a kid or somebody your age, too. People with high positions, like, I mean, not high positions, how can I say? Lawyers, doctors, teachers, your boss, your supervisor, the CEO in a company, the president of the country, and so on, usted. Informal situation, tú. Formal situation, usted. But as I told you, sometimes native speakers do not follow those rules. As I was telling you, in Colombia, everybody use usted in any context. Either formal or informal, they use usted. As I was telling you, in Spain, I was surprised that I see how kids or students address their teachers using tú, which is something that I have never heard in my entire life. So, but as a general rule, if you want to be, no, not as a general rule, if you want to be on the safe side, which one would you use, tú or usted, if you want to stay on the safe side? Let me hear your common sense speaking. Tú or usted, just to stay on the safe side, which one you would use?
Usted.
Definitely usted. To stay on the safe side, use usted. So it's always better that people say that you are too formal than people say that you are being disrespectful. Okay? And that happens not only in Spanish, that happens in many languages that has the tú and usted thing. Like in Portuguese, they have tú and você. Like in Russian, they have T and V, and so on. Du and Sie in German. Guys, this is super, super easy. How do you say there is or there are in Spanish? Hay. That's it. How you express existence, how you say that there's something or there are certain things in Spanish? Hay. Hay is pronounced as a, I. Two sounds. A, I. No hey, as you would say in English, I. 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 Um, how do you say here? Remember that at the end of the class, you can say present or here. Anybody remembers how to say here?
Aquí.
Aquí. It's a
Hello?
word that you. Eh?
Here,
Aquí.
here in your head?
It's what?
Sorry, you say here. Which one do you hear?
Here. Like at this place.
Oh, aquí.
Aquí. So, you know all these words. How you would say there is a girl here. There is a girl here.
So I can try?
I'm waiting for your answer, guys. There is
And
uh-huh. How do you say
and
there?
I don't try.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna try it anyway. Um, I
Uh-huh.
chica.
Una
Let me see.
chica.
I-S-O. What else more?
And how do you say here, finally?
Oh, aquí.
Aquí. Simple.
Oh,
Look. There is, in Spanish, is hay. A girl. Oh my God. What nonsense I'm doing here? Good. There is hay. A girl is una chica. Here is aquí. How you will say there's a boy here? There is a boy here.
hay un chico aquí.
Hay un chico aquí. Hay un chico aquí. Make a guess, guys. An next person. I want an next person. I mean, I don't want that you participate all the time. There are two girls here. So how would you say, guys? There are two girls here. Make a guess. You can be wrong. We work on that together.
Hay unas chicas aquí.
Hay
No, hay dos
dos
chicas aquí.
here. Perfecto. Hay dos chicas aquí. There are, just like there is, in Spanish is hay. Two is dos, girls y chicas, here is aquí. Una casa, a house. How would you say there's a house here? There's a house here.
Sir, I get banned still or I can't participate?
Yeah, you can participate. I leave the band.
Hay una casa aquí.
Perfecto. Hay una casa aquí. But I don't know what else I can tell you about these guys. Um, just want, I mean, to round up the idea, how you express existence in Spanish. How do you say that there is one thing or there are several things? Here, there, over there, hay. You have to remember the pronunciation because it's a very short, simple, easy word, but it's not pronounced like you pronounce it in English. You say hey, we say I, I, I. Actually, we have two words that we pronounce like I in Spanish. This one that means there is, and this one without the H, that is the one that we use when we have a pain, like I. You say ouch, we say I. So you say ouch, ouch, we say I. I. And we pronounce both words in the same way, I. But I, like there is or there are, with H. I, as in ouch, without the H. But the pronunciation is the same, I. So, but you don't need to know this one. So it's the one on top, the one that I want you to remember right now. Okay. La negación. Soy alto. I am tall. What do you think that no soy alto means?
I am not
No,
tall.
I am not tall. Yes. Well, I should say no soy bajo. That is what?
Well, I am not sure.
I am not short. How you make a sentence negative in Spanish? You simply place the adverb no in front of the verb. Simple. Look, Amanda es una chica muy simpática. What that means? Amanda is what?
Amanda is that name the person?
Amanda is a female name.
She is a girl and friendly. Oh, Amanda is a girl and friendly. Or Amanda is a girl and nice. Or very nice.
Amanda is a very nice girl. Amanda is a very nice girl. Es una chica muy simpática. Amanda is a very nice girl. And remember that we say Amanda is a girl very nice. But you would say in English, a very nice girl. So Amanda is a very nice girl. Now, ella, she, no es tímida. She's not what?
Timid.
Timid or shy. She is not shy. Ramón no es mi hermano. Question. ¿Ramón es mi brother? ¿Sí o no?
No.
No, Ramón is not mi brother. Ramón no es mi hermano. How can I say Ramón is my brother?
Ramón es mi hermano.
Perfecto. Ramón es mi hermano. Ramón no es mi hermano. You see how we put no right in front of the verb? Él es el hermano de Amanda. He is the brother of Amanda. He's Amanda's brother. We will study the possessive in the next unit because we don't really say Amanda's brother. We say the brother of Amanda. So you better be accustomed to that way to express possession. Look, this activity is very simple. Change these statements to negative sentences. You have one example there. Alberto es bajo. Alberto is short. What you should say, Alberto no es bajo. Alberto is not short. So, Carmen tiene el pelo largo. Carmen has long hair. How you would say the opposite?
Carmen no tiene el pelo largo.
Perfecto. The verb, you simply have to locate the verb. Where is the verb? Tiene, has. So just put no in front of has. Carmen no tiene el pelo largo. Mónica es, and es is the verb, is. Mónica es muy fat. Mónica es muy gorda. How would you say that Mónica is not very fat?
Mónica no es
gorda.
Go ahead, Lover.
Mónica no es muy gorda.
Perfecto. Mónica es, Mónica no es. Mónica no es muy gorda. Esteban tiene bigote. Esteban has a mustache. How you would say that he doesn't have a mustache?
Esteban no tiene bigote.
Esteban no tiene bigote. Nora tiene barba. Nora has a beard. Well, Nora shouldn't have a beard because she's a girl. How you say that?
Nora no tiene barba.
Muy bien. If I tell you that because is porque, how would you say? Nora doesn't have a beard because she is a girl. How you will say that in Spanish?
Nora no tiene barba porque ella es una niña o una
Perfecto.
chica.
O una chica. Ajá, muy bien. Nora no tiene barba porque, because she is una chica. Nora no tiene barba porque ella es una chica. Now, Alberto y Luis, poor boys, son feos. Uglies. How you say that they are not really ugly? In that sentence, the verb is son, which means are. Come on, how you say Luis and Alberto are not ugly?
Luis y Alberto no son feos.
Luis y Alberto no son feos. So you simply find the verb and you put no in front of the verb. Story done. El plural. In brief words, guys, who can tell me what's a plural? In simple words, what's a plural? Because what is a plural in English is same thing that in Spanish. Plural is plural in any language.
Something that's more than one.
Yes, you cannot say it in simple words. It's something that is more than one. So, chica is singular or plural? Chica, girl.
Singular.
singular.
Wait. Chica, only one girl. Is singular or plural?
Singular.
Singular. Now, chicas, like 10, 10 chicas, singular or plural?
Plural.
Plural. Okay, plural. Guys, there is one simple rule in Spanish. Actually, two rules. Actually, two rules and one small exception. But in general, when you have a noun and or you have a word and that word ends in a vowel, to make it plural, you simply add the letter S. When a singular word in Spanish ends in a vowel, you add an S, the letter S, to make it plural. What's the plural for chico? Chicos. What's the plural for chica?
As.
Us.
Chicas. Chicas. House. Casa. What is the plural for casa? C-A-S-A. What is the plural for casa?
Sorry, last castle?
Casas. Yeah, casas. You simply add the letter S. So look, take a look at these examples here. El brazo, the arm. What is the plural? Los brazos. Brazo, brazos. Ojo, eye. Ojo, O-J-O. What is the plural for ojo? Ojos. Ojo, ojos. Pie. Foot. What is the plural for pie? Pies.
Pies.
Mhm. Pierna, leg. What is the plural for pierna?
Piernas.
Las piernas.
Piernas or las piernas. Of course. Here, I'm presenting you the words with the definite article. The arm, the eye, the foot, the leg. And you have to use, if I'm telling you what is the plural for the arm, you have to say the arms. So what is the, like in plural, when the singular is el, los. The plural of el is los. El brazo, los brazos. El ojo, los ojos. So simple rule, guys. When you have a word in Spanish ending in a vowel, to make it plural, add the letter S. The brother. What is the plural for the brother? Oh my God. See what? Oh my God. El hermano, the brother. What is the plural for el hermano?
Los hermanos.
Los hermanos. La hermana, the sister. What is the plural for la hermana?
Las hermanas.
Las hermanas. Ujú. La casa. What is the plural for la casa?
Casas.
Las casas. So, at the same time here, I want to remind you that the in Spanish is el, la, los, las. So we have 4 words for the in Spanish. The is el for a singular noun. For example, el chico. La is the for a feminine singular noun. El chico, la chica. The boy, the girl. Now, what is the plural for el? Los. What is the plural for la? Las. So the boys in Spanish is los chicos. The girls, las chicas. Mhm. This is something that you have to remember too. For the definite article de, in English, it's only 1 word, but in Spanish, it has 4 forms. 4 different words for de. El, masculine singular. La, feminine singular. Los, masculine plural. Las, feminine plural. There are 4 ways to say the in Spanish. El, la, los, las. Take a note of this. This is something that you need to know too. And this happens in all the Romance languages. That happens in French, that happens in Portuguese, that happens. Well, in French, it's a little bit easier because in French, for the plural, there is only one. So in French, they will have 3 only. Le, la, les. So in French, they have 3. In Spanish, we have 4. So well, let me continue now. That was a plural when the word ends in a vowel. But what about when the word ends in a consonant? Very easy. When the word ends in a consonant, to make it plural, instead of adding just S, you add ES. For example, el borrador, the eraser. To make it plural and to say the erasers, you add ES to the word borrador. Borrador, borradores. La pared, the wall, las paredes. El profesor, los profesores. So there are 2 rules, and only 2 rules for making the plural in Spanish. When the word ends in a vowel, what do you add to the word? This is a question. What do you add to the word to make it plural?
S.
S, period. Now, when the word ends in a consonant, what do you add to that word to make it plural?
ES.
That's it. Very simple. There is only one exception. The exception is when the consonant is the letter Z. When the consonant is the letter Z, you still add ES because it's a consonant, but you have to change the Z to C. So see here, el lápiz, L-A-P-I-Z. When you make it plural, you write L-A-P-I-C-E-S. So to make plural a word that ends in Z, yes, you add ES because Z is a consonant. But before adding or apart from adding ES, you have to change the Z to C. Luz means light. Now, how do you say lights? Luces. How you spell that? L-U-C-E-S. And so you add ES and you change the Z to C. Let me see. Alexa, dime 2 palabras en español que terminen en Z. Alexa, tell me 2 Spanish words that ends in Z.
Many Spanish surnames end with Z, like Cruz, Sanchez, etc.
Oh, cruz. Cruz means cross, like the Jesus Christ cross. Help me, guys, to make it plural. La cruz. How you will make that word plural? Sí. C-R?
C-E-S.
CES.
C-E-S. Perfect. Because the normal rule, I mean, common sense will tell you, well, it's a consonant. I leave it just like that, C-R-U-Z, and I add E-S. No, but there is this special thing in Spanish that tells you that when you make plural a word ending in Z, you have to change the Z to C. It's a spelling rule. Like, what's the past tense of stop? Look, which one of these 2 is correct? Stop with 1 P or 2 P's?
2.
Exactly, but why? Why? Yeah, The past of stop is stopped with two P's, but why two and not one? It's just a spelling rule. It probably has a historical explanation, but you simply write it like that. You don't spell S-T-O-P-E-D. You spell S-T-O-P-P-E-D because that's a spelling rule. Well, same thing. If you ask me why we changed the Z to C, yes, there is an actual historical explanation for that due to the evolution of the language since Latin, passing from Arabic, Germanic languages, Gothic languages, till modern Spanish. There is a historical reason for that, but who cares? There is a spelling rule that tells you that to make a word ending in Z plural, you add ES, but also you have to change the Z to C. Period. Let's see if you understood all this. What I'm doing here. Okay, question. You are making words plural. When that word ends in a vowel, what do you do?
Add S.
Add an S. Good. You are making plural a word that ends in a consonant. What do you do to make it plural?
Add ES.
Yes.
Perfect. But what about if that consonant is the letter Z?
CES.
Sorry? Speak too fast.
You add CES.
Add CES. Or you can also say you add ES, but you change the Z to C. Or you can also say, that would be the long explanation. You drop the Z and you add CES. You can also say it like that. So, well, that's it. Any question about plural in Spanish? To me, it's very simple. Two rules and one exception. Questions? Well, this is the last. Oh, two more things before we finish. Let me see the time. Oh my God, 6:04. Let me go quick. Look, guys. The noun and the adjective, they have to agree. They have to agree in number and gender. If the noun is masculine and singular, in other words, it ends in O, the adjective, the word that describes it, has to end in O also. Has to be masculine and singular. Chico alto. That is why, if you are a girl, you say soy alta. Because what you actually mean is soy una chica alta. When you say I am tall, you actually mean I am a tall girl. Soy una chica alta. So, well, if you are talking about chica, which is feminine and singular, the word that describes chica, the adjective, it has to be feminine and singular too. So, chica alta. Question. The word for short is bajo. How would you say short girl? Chica?
Baja.
Baja. The word for fat is gordo. How would you say fat girl? Chica?
Gorda.
Perfecto.
Good.
Perfecto. Now, we are talking about chicos. Singular, but plural. We are talking about more than one boy. Boys. How would you say tall boys? Chicos altos. Because chicos is masculine because it ends in O. It's plural because it ends in S. So, the adjective has to end in OS also. Question. Chicos altos is tall boys. Bajo is short or short is bajo. How would you say short boys? Chicos
Chicos bajos.
bajos. Ending in S. Chicos bajos. Now, chicas is a feminine word because it ends in A, but it's also plural because it ends in S. So if you are going to say that those girls are tall, you have to say altas. The adjective has to be also feminine and it has to be plural also. In other words, summarizing all this, in Spanish, there's always an agreement between the noun and the adjective. They agree in number and gender. If the noun is masculine and singular, chico, the adjective have to be masculine and singular, alto. If the noun is feminine, plural, chicas, the adjective have to be feminine and plural too, chicas. That is what we call noun adjective agreement. In Spanish, the noun and the adjective have to agree in number. If one is singular, the other one is singular. If one is plural, the other one is plural. In number and gender. The gender is the grammatical sex. If one is masculine, the other one has to be masculine. If one is feminine, the next one has to be feminine too. So that is the noun adjective agreement. Any question about this? This is something that takes time to acquire because you don't have it in English. You don't say tall boys. No, you say tall boy, tall boys. Tall never change. The adjective doesn't change in English, but it does change in Spanish. So this is something that takes you time to process. But any question about this?
No, sir.
Well, and the last part of the class, which is very simple, the position of the adjective in Spanish. In English, the adjective, guys, yes, because I know that sometimes you don't like or you are not familiar with grammatical terms. You forgot all the grammatical terms, so I have to remind you. The adjective are the describing words, the words that describe nouns. Which are the nouns? Well, we say in Spanish, personas, animales o cosas. Persons, animals, or things. Persons, animals, or things. I think in English you say persons, a place, or something. I don't remember. But in Spanish you say personas, animales, o cosas. Persons, animals, or things. Well, the noun. The noun is a thing, the entity. And the adjective is the describing word. So, chica alta. Which one is the noun? Chica, the thing, the entity. And which one is the adjective? Alta, tall, what describe it. Anyhow, in English, you put the adjective in front of the noun. You say smart boy. You don't say boy smart. You say smart boy. You say new shoes. You don't say shoes new. And you say white shirt. You don't say shirt white. You say the shirt is white, but you don't say shirt white. You say white shirt. So the adjective in front of the noun. What happened in Spanish? It's the other way around. In Spanish, the adjective comes after the noun. So you say smart boy, we say boy smart. Chico inteligente. You say new shoes, we say shoes new. Zapatos nuevos. You say white shirt, but we say shirt white. Camisa blanca. So that's it. That's something that takes time to acquire because it's something that you do the other way around. A quick question. How do you say pretty girl in Spanish?
Chica bonita?
It's not bonita chica? I'm trying
Yeah.
to-
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I was trying to confuse you, and actually I confuse you. Is chica bonita or bonita chica?
Chica bonita.
Chica bonita. And why? Because in Spanish, the adjective comes after the noun. So chica, and after chica, I put the word that is going to describe that chica, bonita. You say pretty girl, but we say girl pretty. You say tall boy, but we say boy tall. You say long hair, but we say hair long. We don't say tengo el pelo largo. I have the hair long. That is not that we say in Spanish, but that's not that you say in English. What you say in English is I have long hair, but we say I have hair long. Tengo el pelo largo. Okay, and that was about everything. Today we learned many things. I mentioned already the vocabulary. In terms of grammar, we learned how to use tú or usted. We learned that Hy, we use it to express existence. It's like there is or there are. We learn how to make a sentence negative, just putting no in front of the verb. We learn how to make words plural, just adding the letter S or ES is if the final letter is a vowel, or CES if the final letter is Z. We also learn that if a noun is masculine, the adjective have to be masculine. If the noun is in plural, the adjective have to be in plural too. That is a noun adjective agreement. And we also learned that unlike English, we put the adjective after the noun. You say pretty girl, but we say girl pretty, chica bonita. So any question related to the grammar that we learned in this class before I mark your names?